From the earliest cave drawings to ancient naming rituals, humanity has always sought meaning in the animals around it. These depictions were more than simple illustrations, they were attempts to understand the essence that connects all living things. Much like Adam naming the animals in Eden, the act of giving names to the unknown reflected an intimate need to create order, while also conveying a quiet reverence for the wildness that still eludes us. In the Middle Ages, bestiaries emerged, collections of animals described as symbolic manifestations of virtues and vices. Each creature assumed a role that transcended its physical body, guiding the faithful through spiritual allegories that blended the sacred with the natural. Lions were crowned divine kings, while serpents embodied both deception and wisdom. These narratives showed that animals have always inhabited not only the physical world but also our spiritual and cultural imagination. The word animal itself comes from the Latin anima, meaning soul or vital breath. This etymology reveals the profound link between living beings and spirituality, suggesting that animals are more than just organic creatures, they are tangible expressions of the mystery that permeates all existence. Every encounter with an animal, then, can be seen as a reminder of the sacredness found in simple things, as if nature constantly invites us to recognize an ancestral connection we've long forgotten. Animals and human psychology. Pets occupy more than just homes, they settle into emotional spaces we don't always realize are there. In the warmth of a furry hug, we find a sense of relief that defies rational explanation, like the silent presence of an animal dissolves the invisible tensions within us. Each stroke of fur becomes a wordless dialogue, where comfort arises not from understanding, but from unconditional acceptance. James Hillman, in his profound psychological insights, described animals as natural psychoanalysts. They act as mirrors for the inner states of the human mind, reflecting our desires and frustrations instinctively, without judgment. The bond between humans and animals runs deeper than it appears. It is an energetic exchange that reveals hidden parts of ourselves, allowing us to confront emotions we might prefer to ignore. In the unconscious mind, animals serve as bridges between reason and intuition, between the conscious and the instinctual. A dog guarding its owner or a cat insistently lying on one's chest reveals the profound connections that exist beyond words. These everyday encounters are more than mere routines, they are reminders that our inner lives are nourished by small gestures, by presences that reconnect us with a more primal and essential part of who we are. Animals and the sacred. In indigenous cultures, animals are seen as manifestations of the sacred, living expressions of a higher order that governs the cosmos. Peoples like the Ainu and Native Americans regard animals not merely as part of nature but as guardians and messengers walking between the visible and invisible worlds. Every encounter with an animal serves as a call for respect and an invitation to recognize that, behind life's apparent chaos, there is a hidden harmony waiting to be discovered. Carl Jung interpreted animals as representations of the collective unconscious, symbols that emerge from dreams and rituals to reveal truths that the conscious mind cannot grasp. For Jung, an animal appearing in a dream might symbolize a spiritual quest or serve as a reminder of the instinctual forces that silently shape our decisions. As archetypes, animals help us decode the messages flowing from our inner world. In shamanism, animals take on the role of psychopomps, spiritual guides who accompany us on journeys of healing and transformation. They embody the ability to move between dimensions, exploring uncharted territories of the soul and returning with renewed wisdom. When an animal appears in a ritual or dream, it's no coincidence, it's a direct message from the universe, an invitation to listen to the deepest and most sacred parts of ourselves. Animal resilience versus human suffering. Animals possess an instinctive ability to adapt, seemingly free from the need to understand the why behind hardship. When faced with storms or predators, they don't question their fate, they simply move forward, finding in the present moment the key to their survival. This quiet resilience is inspiring, as if nature itself teaches us that life isn't about resistance but about flowing with the inevitable. In contrast, human consciousness turns every difficulty into a puzzle, where suffering isn't just physical but existential. Our ability to question purpose and meaning sets us apart from animals but also makes us vulnerable to the pain of overthinking. In this mental struggle, animals might hold the true form of enlightenment, a life free from the traps of constant analysis. While humans seek purpose and meaning to ease the burden of existence, animals simply are. They don't feel the need to prove their worth or justify their place in the world. Their way of being invites us to reflect on our own relationship with suffering and meaning, suggesting that in crucial moments, the greatest wisdom may lie in simply living, without obsessing over answers that the universe may never reveal. Animals and eternal recurrence. Animals seem to move in harmony with the eternal cycles of existence, flowing naturally with the changing seasons and passing days. They don't resist time, they follow it, as if their silent routines express an unconscious reverence for the sacred. These repetitive rhythms remind us that life isn't linear but cyclical, mirroring the endless renewal of nature. In mythology, animals often carry deep, recurring meanings. The dove symbolizes peace, the lamb sacrifice, and the lion courage, each reflecting timeless values that echo throughout human history. These symbols represent primordial archetypes, guiding us on our spiritual journeys. Just as animals follow their natural cycles, humans also move through recurring patterns in their search for self-awareness and transcendence. In many religious traditions, animals are seen as divine messengers, bridging the human and the eternal. In Egyptian and Hindu mythologies, they don't merely accompany gods, they embody their qualities and intentions. Each encounter with an animal can be interpreted as a sign, a reminder that, contrary to what we might believe, we are always returning to a sacred origin, the eternal recurrence that connects us to the mystery of existence. The symbolism of animals in the unconscious. In dreams, animals appear in mysterious forms, carrying messages that our conscious minds cannot immediately grasp. Each creature that emerges in the dream world reflects our deepest instincts and archetypes, as if the unconscious uses these figures to guide us through moments of doubt and transformation. These encounters act as invitations to self-exploration, suggesting that by following the trail of animals in our dreams, we may uncover forgotten aspects of ourselves. In Jung's concept of individuation, animals represent essential stages of personal growth. Facing a ferocious beast or being guided by a gentle creature symbolizes internal challenges or discoveries we must embrace. These figures serve as beacons on the path to soul integration, pointing toward inner territories that need exploration, even when we fear what we might find. Tales and fables, filled with talking animals and symbolic figures, reflect this psychological dynamic. Through the stories we hear from childhood, we learn lessons about courage, betrayal, and transformation, projecting our fears and hopes onto these creatures. Each animal is a piece of the puzzle of the human psyche, a living metaphor that helps us understand the unconscious forces shaping our lives, even when we are not fully aware of them. Symbolic animals and the collective unconscious. From ancient legends to modern tales, animals have symbolized human emotions and traits that transcend generations. The clever fox, the wise raven, the lone wolf, each one embodies a fragment of who we are, projected into stories that help us understand ourselves. These characters are archetypal fragments that travel through time, connecting cultures and people through the symbolic power they carry. The collective unconscious, a concept introduced by Jung, emerges in myths and legends where animals play universal symbolic roles. They act as mirrors for human emotions, reflecting our internal complexities in ways we can comprehend. It is no coincidence that we empathize with the lion's strength or relate to the snake's cunning. These narratives are not merely about animals but about our own inner dilemmas. In storytelling, the projection of human psyche onto animals reveals a profound truth. We are constantly searching for ourselves, even when it seems like we are simply telling stories. The animals in these tales are not mere characters, they are manifestations of the forces that drive us from within. Every time we connect with these stories, we reaffirm our ongoing search for understanding and belonging, as if seeking to see our own reflection in the gaze of these symbolic creatures. Specific archetypes: cat, dog, and horse. The cat, with its enigmatic and aloof nature, embodies the essence of mystery and independence. It seems to inhabit two dimensions simultaneously, the physical world and an invisible realm where its calm demeanor hints at a deep connection to the unknown. This is why the cat is often associated with magic, as if each silent gaze were a window into hidden realities that only it can perceive. The dog, on the other hand, symbolizes unwavering loyalty but also carries the archetypal duality of betrayal. It is both a trustworthy guardian and a reminder of how trust can be broken. In spirituality, the dog serves as a guide, accompanying souls on their journeys, a companion who offers safety, even in uncertain times. However, its loyalty is sometimes tested, reminding us of the delicate balance between trust and vulnerability. The horse represents raw energy and freedom, but it also embodies a primal instinct to flee. It is a symbol of movement and transformation, an archetype of progress and adaptability. In many cultures, the horse is seen as a vehicle of spiritual power, capable of transporting the soul between worlds. Yet, its impulsive nature reminds us that the urge to run is not always about escape. Sometimes, it's the search for a space where we can finally breathe and be ourselves. The symbolism of the bull and the cow. The bull, with its raw strength and commanding presence, is an ancient symbol of power and fertility. In various cultures, it represents the vitality that sustains life and the force needed to confront challenges. Ancient rituals honor the bull as a manifestation of nature's creative power, as if its pulsing energy could fertilize not only fields but also latent ideas and intentions. The cow, by contrast, symbolizes maternal care and the gift of silent sacrifice. In many traditions, it is associated with nourishment and sustenance, serving as a reminder of the earth's generosity and the need to care for what feeds us. The spiritual significance of the cow's sacrifice teaches a profound lesson. Sometimes, it is through voluntary giving that we discover our greatest purpose, offering the world what is most essential within us. The contrast between the bull and the cow reflects a dynamic balance between strength and gentleness, power and care. Together, they teach us that both vigor and tenderness are needed for life to flourish. Their archetypes invite us to reflect on how we balance these forces within ourselves, navigating the tension between intense desire and calm compassion. The lion, strength and psychological guardian. The lion, with its majestic presence and piercing gaze, symbolizes the unshakable strength that resides within every human being. As a solar archetype, it embodies the power of light, the courage to confront inner shadows, and the leadership that emerges from self-confidence. In myths, the lion serves both as protector and challenge, reminding us that true strength lies not in the absence of fear, but in the ability to move forward despite it. In spiritual temples and narratives, the lion plays the role of guardian, protecting symbolic treasures that represent the essence of the human soul. Lions at temple gates do not merely intimidate intruders, they also welcome those willing to explore their inner mysteries. The lion thus becomes an ally in the hero's journey, transforming from adversary to mentor as the hero learns to embrace their own strength. The lion's presence in dreams and mythology reveals the need to confront our weaknesses and fears. It teaches us that true transformation happens when we stop seeing the lion as an enemy and accept it as a part of ourselves. In this way, the lion is not just a distant figure from stories but a living metaphor for the process of self-discovery and the quest for a fuller, braver identity. The serpent, paradox and hidden wisdom. The serpent coils through human imagination as an enigmatic symbol, representing renewal and the eternal cycle of life. The Ouroboros, a snake devouring its own tail, reminds us that every end is also a new beginning, suggesting that time is a circle where each moment is born from the previous one. Like shedding its skin, the serpent teaches us that transformation is inevitable and that we must leave behind what no longer serves us. At the same time, the serpent embodies a paradox. It symbolizes both wisdom and deceit. In the book of Genesis, it appears as the tempter offering forbidden knowledge, while in other traditions, such as Greek and Hindu mythology, it is revered as a bearer of enlightenment and healing. This dual role reveals that the search for truth is always a risky journey, where learning comes with trials and challenges. In Gnostic traditions, the serpent is viewed as a guide between the material and spiritual worlds, capable of opening doors to hidden dimensions. Its presence invites us to explore the unknown, confront our fears, and embrace uncertainty as part of the journey. Thus, the serpent is not merely a symbol of danger, it is also a reminder that true wisdom arises from the courage to descend into the shadows and emerge transformed. Animals and instinctive wisdom. There are moments in life when, standing at a crossroads, the clearest answers don't come from logical thinking but from the instincts that silently dwell within us. Like animals on high alert, acting without hesitation, we are also called to trust our deepest impulses when reasoning falls short. This primal wisdom, always present, reminds us that the body holds a quiet knowledge that the mind often forgets to hear. Animals, with their simple and precise actions, serve as living metaphors for essential aspects of our own nature. They show us that beneath the layers of complexity we build, there is an intuitive core that remains intact, waiting for the right moment to surface. It is as if the animal essence within each of us is always ready to guide us, if only we have the courage to listen. Reconnecting with our instincts is more than a survival skill, it is a key to integrity and healing. Ignoring our truest impulses creates space for neurosis, pulling us away from inner balance. Thus, rediscovering this ancestral wisdom becomes a way to return to wholeness, a reminder that we are, after all, an inseparable part of this vast and mysterious fabric of life. Thank you for following along. If this content resonated with you, consider supporting the channel on Buy Me a Coffee and sharing it with your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss future videos.